Introduction. It's hard to believe, but it's been 20 years since the world first learned about Prince William and Kate Middleton's love story. In the early 2000s, Britain was a country caught between tradition and modernity. The royal family was still healing from the tragedy of Princess Diana's death. The tabloids were more ruthless than ever, and public interest in the monarchy was at an all-time high. At the center of it all was Prince William. Tall, charming, and the son of the beloved Diana, William wasn't just Britain's future king. He was the world's most eligible bachelor. Every move he made, every friend he spoke to, every girl he was seen near, instantly became a headline. On the other side was a young woman from Berkshire, Catherine Middleton. Kate didn't come from royalty, nor from aristocracy. She came from a loving middle-class family who had built a successful business through hard work. Yet, in time, she would redefine what it meant to be a modern royal. Their paths would cross at St. Andrews University, sparking a love story that began quietly but soon captivated the entire world. And now, 2 decades later, their journey remains one of the most iconic royal romances in history. Before the love story, Prince William grew up in the public eye, born into a world that expected greatness from him as the future King of England. And while his childhood carried the privilege of palaces, it was also marked by deep tragedy. The influence of his mother, Princess Diana, shaped him into a compassionate young man, and her untimely passing in 1997 left a wound that defined much of his character, teaching him resilience, duty, and a guarded approach to the ever-curious media that followed his every move. At the same time, far from the spotlight, Catherine Kate Middleton was growing up in Berkshire in a close, hard-working family, where her parents, Carol and Michael, instilled in her the values of discipline, ambition, and kindness, while building their family business that gave Kate and her siblings a foundation for a stable, loving upbringing. She thrived in her studies, sports, and social life, and although the press would later call her a commoner, her background was anything but ordinary, giving her the poise and strength to stand beside royalty one day. And as the early 2000s unfolded, Britain itself was caught in cultural change, with tabloids hungry for royal stories, the monarchy facing challenges after Diana's death, and a young prince and a girl from Berkshire living in parallel worlds that, unknown to them, were on a destined path to converge at a small Scottish university, where history's most modern royal love story would begin. Meeting at St. Andrews. In 2001, Prince William made the surprising decision to attend the University of St. Andrews in Scotland, seeking a quieter environment away from the constant London spotlight, and it was there that his path crossed with Catherine Middleton, who had chosen to study art history after her own gap-year adventures. At first, they were simply classmates, part of the same social circles, living the life of ordinary students in lecture halls, dining halls, and shared housing, but their friendship grew, naturally through group outings and long study sessions, with Kate known for her warmth and William admired for his down-to-earth charm, until one moment changed everything. A charity fashion show where Kate walked the runway in a now-famous sheer dress, catching William's eye in a way that shifted their relationship forever, though still shielded by royal protection and a media blackout that respected William's privacy as a student. The two began spending more time together away from the public gaze, sharing private dinners, cooking in their student flat, and enjoying the rare luxury of a normal romance, while friends later recalled how their closeness was undeniable, built not on royal titles or public attention, but on laughter, trust, and an unshakable bond that quietly marked the beginning of one of the most enduring royal love stories of our time. The love story goes public. By 2004, the quiet romance that had blossomed at St. Andrews could no longer remain hidden, and the turning point came during a ski trip to Klosters in Switzerland, where paparazzi captured the first photos of William and Kate together. Images that confirmed what had long been whispered among students and friends, sparking a tabloid frenzy that christened them Wills and Kate, and instantly propelled Kate into the unforgiving spotlight of royal watchers. From that moment on, her life changed. Dramatically, as the once private young woman faced sudden fame, relentless paparazzi attention, and endless speculation about her future, while William, protective and cautious, tried to shield her from the storm, knowing better than anyone the destructive power of the press that had once hounded his mother. Still, the fascination only grew, with headlines asking the inevitable question, was Kate the one? And journalists digging into her family background, framing her as the middle-class girl who might one day be queen. Despite the pressure, the couple carried on with quiet determination, navigating the strange new reality of being in love under the gaze of millions, while the public became increasingly enchanted by the idea that this ordinary girl from Berkshire could be destined to reshape the monarchy's future. Trials, breakups, and reunions. As their relationship deepened, so too did the pressures that came with it, and William and Kate soon found themselves struggling to balance love with the immense weight of royal duty, long-distance challenges created by William's military training, and the constant media intrusion that seemed determined to test their bond. By 2007, the strain reached its peak, and the couple decided to part ways, a breakup that devastated fans and left the press speculating endlessly about what went wrong. With Kate showing remarkable grace in public, refusing to exploit the attention, while William faced criticism for letting her go. Yet, beneath the headlines, the story was far from over, because time apart only strengthened their understanding of each other, and within months the pair quietly reconciled, choosing privacy over spectacle as they rebuilt their connection. By the time they were back together, their love was not just youthful infatuation, but a partnership forged in trials, tested by distance, and proven resilient against the world's gaze, laying a foundation for a romance that would endure far beyond the ups and downs of those early years. The road to marriage. After weathering the storms of their early years, William and Kate's relationship matured into a steady partnership, with William balancing his growing responsibilities in the military, while Kate quietly built her own life, working for her family's business and later in the fashion world, all the while preparing herself for the possibility of a royal future without ever publicly demanding it. Their appearances together became more frequent, signaling to the world that this was no fleeting romance. And in 2010, during a private trip to Kenya, William finally asked the question the public had been waiting for, presenting Kate with a sapphire engagement ring that had once belonged to his mother, Princess Diana, a gesture both deeply personal and symbolically powerful. Kate's acceptance marked not only a turning point in their lives, but also a moment of renewal for the monarchy itself. And when the engagement was officially announced, the global reaction was electric, with Kate's first interviews showcasing her poise, warmth, and quiet confidence, while the press and the public alike celebrated the love story that had begun in the lecture halls of St. Andrews and was now destined for the grandest stage of all, the royal wedding of the century. As soon as the engagement was announced, preparations for what would be called the wedding of the century began, with global anticipation reaching fever pitches every detail. From the guest list of music to the secrecy surrounding Kate's dress, was dissected by the press and adored by the public. On April 29, 2011, the world's eyes turned to Westminster Abbey, where millions watched as Kate Middleton walked gracefully down the aisle in her now iconic gown, a vision that blended royal tradition with modern elegance, while William, dressed in his red Irish Guards uniform, waited with a smile that betrayed both nerves and joy. The ceremony itself was a grand spectacle, steeped in history yet deeply personal, culminating in the unforgettable moment when the newlyweds stepped onto the balcony of Buckingham Palace to share not one but two kisses, sparking cheers from the crowds below and delight from the billions watching across the globe. In the aftermath, the reviews were unanimous. It was not just a wedding, but a cultural event that cemented Kate's smooth transition into royal life, while sparking what came to be known as the Kate effect, where everything she wore, touched, or endorsed suddenly became a trend, marking the beginning of her powerful influence on fashion, culture, and the modern image of royalty, building a modern royal family. After the fairy tale wedding, William and Kate stepped confidently into their roles as the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, carefully balancing centuries of royal tradition with their vision of a more modern, relatable monarchy. From the very start, they committed themselves to charity work, championing causes like mental health awareness, children's welfare, and conservation, quickly becoming the most approachable faces of the royal family. Their transition into parenthood only deepened their public appeal, beginning with the birth of Prince George in 2013, followed by Princess Charlotte in 2015, and Prince Louis in 2018. Each arrival greeted with global excitement as the couple worked tirelessly to provide their children with as normal an upbringing as possible despite the unrelenting spotlight. In public, William and Kate shone as partners, and on the world stage, They emerged as true global stars, embarking on international tours where Kate's effortless style and compassion turned her into a fashion and cultural icon, while together they projected stability, warmth, and unity, redefining what it meant to be modern royals in a changing world. Challenges, scandals, and strength. Even as William and Kate's love story inspired millions, the couple faced their share of storms, most notably during the dramatic rift that shook the royal family with Meghan and Harry's departure, a saga that placed William and Kate under relentless comparison, with the media portraying Kate as the steady, dutiful counterbalance to Meghan's rebellious image. Through it all, Kate endured invasive press coverage, from paparazzi chasing her family to the painful topless photo scandal in 2012 that tested both her dignity and William's fierce determination to protect her privacy, reminding the world of the lessons he carried from his mother Diana's tragic experiences. Yet, despite every intrusion, rumor, or scandal, William and Kate remain unshaken, their composure and quiet resilience turning them into the rock of the monarchy, a couple who balance personal trials with unflinching dedication to duty, proving that their bond and sense of purpose could withstand even the harshest spotlight. 20 years later, reflection and legacy. 2 decades after their love first became public, Prince William and Kate Middleton's story is no longer just a royal romance, but a defining chapter in modern monarchy. From their student days at St. Andrews to their wedding watched by billions, from navigating breakups to raising the next generation of heirs, they have grown into symbols of stability, dignity, and hope for the future of the crown. Today, William stands firmly as the heir, carrying the legacy of Diana while forging his own path, and Kate has transformed from a so-called commoner into one of the most beloved future queens in history, admired not just for her elegance, but for her empathy, resilience, and quiet strength. Their journey, tested by scandal, strengthened by love, and shaped by duty, has given the monarchy a modern face, one rooted in family, service, and relatability. Looking ahead, their partnership represents not only continuity for Britain, but also the promise of a monarchy that feels both timeless and refreshingly human, a love story that began 20 years ago and will define the future of the crown.